Part of the honor of hosting the Olympics is introducing new events to the pantheon of sports and exhibiting the world's best. With Paris welcoming the world a little more than 200 days from now, one of the new sports is breakdancing. No, really. And that's awesome.
Breakdancing is super old school, it's classic. And I think people nowadays don't realize that dance is a foundation for everything. I praise on it, I talk about it, I just confidently say that dance is a sport.
The battle format is simple but challenging. 16 international b-boys and b-girls battle for judges' points based on synchronizing their moves to a DJ's beats.
So I used to be in a club battling guys on the ground, trying to do a spin and hold a move or whatever, but that is real, like that's strength.
But don't even think for a microsecond that because breaking isn't gymnastics or wrestling or the decathlon, that these aren't finely tuned athletes. Any dancer knows how much work they need to put in.
Breakdancing is a skill. It's an art. And one, safety is a big issue. You can't just say, okay, why don't you just lay on the side of your head and just hold that pose for 5 seconds, right? That won't happen. That person that's coming into the studio to teach the breakdancing class, one has to be skilled, has to know his stuff, and safety would be a big priority for us too.
This also lends to the mental challenge and constant adaptation, and as opposed to a regulation routine you've rehearsed and execute to perfection, breaking is all about improvising, with a groove and against your opponent.
We wouldn't call it choreo, but it would just kind of be like a freestyle. That's what we used to do back in the day, right? We used to freestyle, and everything was just backyard. So we learned everything, I think, backyard. Here now, nowadays, everything is about stage presence and training.
This also creates new opportunities for dancers and coaches earning the honor of representing Guam and showcasing their skills as Olympians.
I just feel that dance is just a competitive sport and people need to see it in that arena. And now that we're taking it to another level with the Olympics, I think people are going to take it more seriously.
This would also be big for our island, being able to honor a former talent box breaking instructor that we lost far too soon to cancer, Noel Santos Jr.
He was one of the best break dancers, freestylers that I knew, and he gifted us and was teaching here at the studio for a bit. But just watching him creatively just think of some moves.
In the end, breaking lines up perfectly with the Olympic spirit. Today's breakers and old school OGs are absolutely competitors.
I mean, break dancing is like, it's a freestyle art, right? You don't know what your opponent's gonna come at you, right? So you creatively have to think of, what am I gonna come with to get him back, And so it's not anything choreographed because you don't know what your opponent's going to be doing. So I think it's a lot of like mind, creatively thinking of what can I come up with to kind of take it to another level.
So while 671 won't have a shoulder roll squad in Paris at this year's Summer Games, look out for us in 2028 in LA because the Team Guam breaking crew is in training.
We'd love to take a team to the Olympics. Can you imagine? Guam had a team of break dancers representing the island into the Olympics. That's awesome.